Good morning, St. Bernardine family. My name is Patricia Cudjoe. I've been asked to share my faith journey with you all. My family and I have been part of St. Bernardine family for the last few years. By way of introduction, I am a wife, mother, and Catholic Christian, among other roles. And so I'll share my journey. I am a cradle Catholic, middle of 6 children, born to 2 amazing faith-filled parents. I came to know Jesus for myself when I was 18, and I'd be more than happy to share the details and more about that story with anyone who's interested. For the sake of time, suffice it to say that I fell in love with Jesus, and for the following 5 years, I grew closer to him than I ever knew was possible. Then, well, let's just say that life happened, and it happened fast. Within 8 years, I got accepted into medical school after several failed attempts. I married the man of my dreams. We had 4 children, completed residency. We moved 5 times, including buying a home here in Baltimore. And I accompanied my husband's career journey as well, medical school, getting his master's in public health, residency, and fellowship. All during this time, my relationship with Jesus became less and less of a priority. Well, thank God for Lent. Our mother church really does know that we need these seasons. I watched a video of Matthew Kelly's March 2019, and he suggested that I begin praying again on a consistent basis, and I took his suggestions seriously by the grace of God, and I did just that. During that Lenten season, we conceived our 5th child. Unexpected, though very much desired. He was delivered 28 weeks, stillborn. I say born sleeping. And he forever changed our lives. We named him Benedict. It was a wake-up call, for sure. I felt the Lord calling me to return to him with tenfold zeal. God comforted me through this and certainly drew me closer to him and closer to my husband and my children. The experience was hard, is hard, it's still a journey, and painful, but God assured me, and continues to do that it was nothing, that this experience is nothing in comparison to the torment and anguish that is experienced in hell for all of eternity had I stayed on my path of destruction. So I'm grateful, of course, bittersweet, but grateful for that experience, that journey, the journey that continues. Well, fast forward, and we conceived again. But with this pregnancy, I didn't feel pregnant at all, which concerned me. And I was fearful that this baby was dead too. And I feared that the baby was not alive. But I knew that I was not supposed to be afraid. And so I tried my best to ignore those feelings. And I read a quote that hangs on a wall in my home: "Do not fear tomorrow. God is already there." And my immediate reaction at this time was, how can I not fear losing another baby, after especially knowing how hard it was the first time? Well, we learned that this baby's heart was not beating as this Lent began. And I almost couldn't believe it. I almost could not believe that it was happening again. And I didn't want to admit it, but I felt that God had let me fall. I will never forget where I was when I had this thought. I was in adoration, of all places, and I admitted it to God. I said, I feel like you let me fall. And no sooner do I look to my left, do I see the stations. And which station do I see but Jesus, who fell while carrying his cross. And it was almost clear as day. I felt like God said, I want you to trust me even when I let you fall. And that was enlightening, and it was beautiful, and I'm grateful for that as well, because Jesus fell. And so who am I to not also fall? But there was a part of me that still wasn't entirely comfortable with this. Well, God, you let me fall. Why would you let me fall? But don't ask God why, because you're not supposed to ask God why. And in the midst of it, not that God has given me an answer of the why, but what he has done is continued again and again to prove himself faithful and to say, Patricia, I love you. I love you more than you will ever possibly imagine. And if I allow something in your life, or if I ordain something in your life, even if it's painful, especially when it's painful, trust in my goodness. trust that when the boat is rocking and the water is filling this vessel that is supposed to carry you safely, don't trust the boat, trust me. And look, where am I in that boat? I'm resting, right? Just as the gospel story goes. I'm not resting because I don't care. I'm resting because I control all things. So whether it's coronavirus or whether it's losing 2 babies back to back or whether it's your marriage not going as you expected, whatever it is, I love you. I care about you. You may not see it right away, but trust in me with all your heart. Don't try to understand it, and you will be directed by me in the way that you should go. So St. Bernardine family, my journey is just beginning, as I think for many of us it really is. We're all babes in Christ. But I encourage all of us this Lenten season as it finishes out, finish it strong, trust in Him always. When we don't know, that's okay. We're not supposed to know everything. Trust in Him, let Him lead us. And when we are nervous, when we are scared, when we do feel like He's let us fall, rather than trying to bottle it in, rather than trying to act like it's not there, I believe God is calling us to take all of these things to Him, bring it to the cross, and let Him show us the light in the dark places. And He will. He always does. He will never leave us nor forsake us. So this is my story, the beginning of it anyway. And I'd be happy to share more with anyone who's interested. God bless you all.